The story I'm about to tell you today is about you. You have found yourself in the crosshairs between time and space in the 21st century. You're looking for a side hustle, some extra cash. Your options, dropshipping, affiliate marketing, or the elusive SMMA. To hone your craft, you begin researching on your computer machines, reaching out to business owners, and even signing some deals. But quickly you realize what you've done is sign a client so demanding, so unreasonable, that you wish you could go back in time and take it all back. Well, unfortunately for you, you found yourself directly in an SMMA nightmare.
If you don't avoid these client red flags, your clients will make your life miserable. None of us want that, and we simply want to enjoy the fun aspects of entrepreneurship. The whole point of starting an online business is to be able to have more time freedom, quit your job, and fire that boss that you hate. We're not trying to build another cubicle with all the same problems and issues that we were trying to leave in the first place. So if you're just starting out, you don't have any clients yet, listen up. And if you've got clients, this is going to be very important for you to identify these red flags so you avoid these nightmare clients. So number one, if a client is rude to you in the very first meeting, that is a clear red flag. Remember, this is how they communicate with total strangers. So if they're talking to you like this now, this is how they're going to communicate with you in the future. Typically, these types of individuals thrive on talking down to their employees and their vendors. So if you see this kind of behavior, it's just going to get worse. David and I, we've done it before. You get really excited, you want to close a deal, and even though you know something's wrong with this person, you move it forward anyway, and that inappropriate, rude behavior on the first encounter is only going to get worse as they get more and more comfortable with you. Secondly, if a client is trying to negotiate your price model and really get a lot of discounts that are beyond reasonable, this is another red flag. For example, if you have a $6,000 a month retainer and they come back to you and say, hey, let's do it for $2,000, you need to prove yourself and show us what you can do, that is a red flag because they're undermining your value. We've never started a relationship with someone where we've cut our price so drastically and had it actually turn out good. Now, don't confuse this with selling poorly. If you haven't sold the product, you haven't sold the service, they're not going to want to pay full price. But if you've done your homework, you've gone through the discovery process, the proposal process that we outlined in the blueprint, and they're still slashing your prices, most likely this is a very clear red flag that this is not going to be a good client for you. Of course, you can have some wiggle room, discount a little bit, but within reason. Don't cut your prices by 75% just to move the deal forward. By setting these healthy business boundaries, you're going to be respected, they're going to be respected, and it's going to be a good relationship moving forward. Thirdly, if the prospect is redlining every single aspect of the contract and trying to change fundamental aspects of your business model, this is another red flag. What I'm talking about here is at the final stages. You've had multiple conversations, they're feeling good, you're feeling good, and you're about to get started and they're throwing a wrench in every single aspect of the process. Now, when you start to work with larger clients, they're going to have legal teams. Redlining elements in the contract is totally normal, but within reason here. If it's completely changing the way you do your process and deliver your service model just to simply appease their legal or their own ego, in most cases, this is a red flag. I can think back to an example. We were working with a real estate agent and he wanted to change everything about our contract. He wanted to change our invoicing platform. He wanted to change our net payment terms. They wanted to change the way we delivered our services. And it got to the point that we kept making every single change and appeased to what he wanted. But ultimately, the relationship wasn't good. And if we could have gone back in time, I would have much rather had them keep their money and never have worked with this person than said yes to every single thing they asked and ultimately had a toxic relationship with a client. The reason why this is so important because toxic client relationships can make you just want to quit the business altogether. You'll start questioning everything, and it really slows down your motivation and momentum. So by recognizing some of these red flags early, you're going to save yourself a lot of time, headache, and frustration, and ultimately the momentum of your business if you can identify these much sooner in the process. It's funny, today David and I, when we're having conversations with prospects, we'll start to see little red flags, and even though they're asking for another thing and another thing and another thing, David and I will text each other and say, hey, this is a red flag. Maybe we shouldn't give this discount. Maybe we shouldn't appease this red line. And every time we've held our ground, I haven't regretted it, because the time wasted with a client that doesn't respect your time is time wasted to the clients that you do love working with, and the clients that are going to pay you month after month, year after year. And you can focus that time on getting better results for the clients you actually care about and respect. So now that you know the red flags to watch out for, if you want to master your outreach system and client acquisition process, click on this video right here. I've outlined our entire system on how to close deals for your SMMA.